Hello everybody, we are going to start today's class with some stretches and movement. So if everybody wants to go ahead and stand up, we are going to get started. We're going to do some stretches, and then in between each side of our body that we stretch, we're going to do a little jog or jumping jacks or something like that. So go ahead and get started. I'm going to scoot back so you can see me. And we are going to start by stretching our arms. So if everybody could just swing and cross their arms like this a couple times. Let's get moving. All right. We're going to start with that arm stretch that we've done the past couple of weeks. So we're going to cross one arm over, grab under, pull it towards us. Just like this. All right. And now in between our switches, let's do some high knees. So try and get your hands to touch your knees. All right, and now we're going to stretch the other arm, so put those arms back out. Cross one over, grab under, and pull it towards you. Good, and high knees one more time. Get them up, like this. Good job. Okay, now we're going to do some back stretches. So if you'll swing, you can either swing with your arms straight out, or you can bend them like this. And swing from side to side and really get our back stretched out, just like this. And now let's do some jumping jacks. Get those arms all the way up, feet all the way apart. 3, 2, 1. Good job. A couple more swings to get our back stretched out. And a couple more jumping jacks. Let's do 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job. Okay, we're going to do some quad stretches. So remember, we take our hand, we grab our foot, and we pull our foot towards us, just like this. Good job. And now let's jog in place. Just a light jog like this. You could spin in a circle, or you could just jog. And let's do the other foot. So we take that hand, grab our foot, and pull it towards us. Whoop, don't fall. And some jogs again. All right, and then lastly, we got to stretch our feet and our ankles. So what we're going to do is stick your foot in the ground like this and roll it around. Just like this. Get that ankle nice and stretched out. Good, and in between our ankle stretches, we're going to do some lunges. So we lunge like this. Let's do 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's stretch that other ankle out. Put your foot in the ground, or your toe on the ground, and twist your ankle around. Stretch it out. Awesome job, y'all. Let's get into our throwing. Okay, girls, so today's lesson focus is throwing. We are going to throw a ball that we have, whatever that might be. I would advise you to steer clear of any hard or super heavy ones. I know we're working with what we have, so if that's what you have, go for it. I'm using just a little squishy basketball. Well, it's not that little. It's smaller than normal one. Really just use whatever you have. Before we actually get into the throwing, we are going to work on, we're going to practice some scenarios. So I'm going to give you a prompt like throw like you're a pitcher in a baseball game and stuff like that. So we're going to work on what different throws might look like before we actually get the ball in our hands. Then we're going to work on our grip, so what it looks like when we hold it, and then we are going to practice some throws. So I would challenge or advise you to do this outside if you can, just because my mom always said, don't play ball in the house. That might be different in your household, but I really, I don't want to ask the scholars to do anything that could hurt somebody else or break it, or break something in your house. So if you are able to do this outside, great. If right at this moment that you're watching it, you cannot be outside, why don't you take a second and go ask the adult at your house, whether that's mom, dad, babysitter, grandma, grandpa, if there is a safe place that you can practice your throwing, or if they could take you outside. And if not, go ahead and hit pause, and you could come back and watch this on a day or at a different time when you are able to be outside or at a place where you can throw a ball. Okay? Sound good? Let's get started. Okay, so when talking about how we grip the ball, this is going to be a little more difficult for me because mine's a little bigger. If you have a ball that would fit in your palm, so something like a tennis ball, a bouncy ball, something that's either the size of your hand or smaller, you should be able to, you can't see the front of my hand, grip it like this. So if you were to give me a high five, curl your fingers, and that's how you hold the ball, just like that. That's how I'm holding it too. It's just a little harder to see because I'm using a larger size ball than normal. But that is how we are going to grip the ball. All right. So now I'm going to stand up, and if you're sitting, you can also stand up. And we are going to practice some different throwing scenarios. So let me see if I can. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. I'm sorry, this is, let me angle you different so you can see me when I stand up and not the table. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I want you to act like you are throwing a rock, or I'm sorry, not a rock, throwing a ball over a lake or a river or some kind of body of water, okay? So me, I think about skipping rocks, and I skip rocks this way, like this, because they're usually pretty light, so you can just skip them like this. Take a second and think about how you would throw a ball if you were throwing it over a body of water. Let me see your throws. It could be like this. Mine would be like this, though. A little bit sideways, kind of like you're throwing a Frisbee. Okay, now, how would you throw a ball if I told you you had to get it over the tallest building in Lexington? You had to get your ball all the way over the top. Practice your throw like that. Mine would probably look like, like this. Super high, all the way up in the air, like that. Let me see your throws. Practice that all the way up in the air, just like that. Okay, now, I want you to practice throwing a ball like you are a pitcher at a baseball game with all of these fans. Not like it would be right now with COVID-19, but like there's all these people here to watch you, and you have to throw the fastest ball ever. You have to throw the fastest pitch. Mine would probably, wind up and really throw it. Let me see those pitches. Act like you've got to throw that ball so hard that catcher's hand is going to hurt. You really have to throw that ball really hard. Just like that. Take a couple throws. Practice that throw. All right, now we're going to get into the real throwing, semi-real throwing. And I actually, I see that I have a baseball right here, which will actually be a little easier to show you. I don't advise you using a baseball because it's hard. If that's all you have, use it. Just be careful. Okay, so when we think about throwing, there are 3 things to think about, okay? 3 things. The first one is we start with our legs together. If I back up, you might be able to see my feet. We start with our legs together. The second thing is we got to figure out which hand we throw with. If you don't know, that's okay, just pick one. I know that I throw with my right hand. This is my right hand. So I throw this way. If you throw this way, that's fine. But whichever hand you throw with, we step with the opposite leg. So if I throw with my right hand, I'm going to step with my left foot. So it might be easier for you to see this way. If I throw with my right hand, when I throw, my foot comes up, and then I go. Then I let go of the ball. So do this a couple times. Put whatever hand you throw with in the air, so that we know which one it is, and then put it down by your side. And as you pick up that hand, also pick up your opposite foot, just like this. It's like they're attached. When one comes up, the other comes up, just like that. And so when we go to throw, we step forward onto that foot, just like that. And our last thing to remember is this arm. We don't want this arm swinging all the way back here before we throw. We don't want it swinging all the way down here before we throw. We want it to come straight back like this. See how my arm is almost, I think it's pretty straight. Almost like you're showing your muscles when you want to show those muscles off, like that. So it should go from here to here. So now let's try to put it all together, okay? So we're gonna start with our feet together. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see everything, but I'm starting with my feet together. When I pick my hand up, my leg goes up, my arm is straight, and then I step and throw. Let's do it one more time, then I'll let y'all practice. Feet together. When my arm comes up, my leg comes up, my arm is straight, and I step and throw. All right, spend a couple of seconds practicing that. Don't throw the ball yet. Okay, now we're gonna throw. Again, we're gonna do this gently. We don't wanna hurt anybody or anything, or we don't wanna do anything, we don't wanna make a mess. So, we're just gonna basically throw super soft. So we're gonna get in that stance again. With our hands down and our feet together. We're gonna pick our arm and our leg up. Our arm's gonna be straight, we're gonna step, and we're gonna throw. Super softly. We're gonna do it one more time. Arm comes up, leg comes up, arm straight, step, throw. If you want to practice that a little more, now is the time to go ahead and pause this video and just spend however long you want to practice throwing and remembering those 3 steps. And then our 4th one in not to throw the ball too hard. If you don't have time or you don't want to practice right now, you can keep on moving on, and we are going to do some yoga in the next video. Alright, so we are going to end the day with some yoga, or end our lesson with some yoga. I'm going to go ahead and take my shoes off. If you have shoes on, it might be easier to take them off to do this. And we are going to learn, we'll do a couple of our old poses and a couple new poses. So since I'm sitting like this, let's start with cross leg. So this is like sitting crisscross applesauce, but instead of scrunching your legs up like this, you want to make them where you're, I don't know if you can see my feet in this, but where really the only thing that's crossed is your feet. So your legs are out a little bit more. And you're going to put your hands on your knees and kind of push down a little bit and just take let's take 5 deep breaths together. So ready? Breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Last one. Good job. Hopefully that cooled you down a little bit from all of the stuff we just did before this. Okay. Our next one is going to be, let's see. Let's do a plank position, because that can also be what is the word I'm looking for? An exercise. So it can be a yoga pose and an exercise. It's really good for our abs right here. So with the plank position, you're gonna start like this with your knees on the ground. You're gonna take your hands, put them here so you look like you're in, what was this pose called? This pose had a name. And then you're gonna put your feet up, and this is what we call a plank. Just like this. Let's hold it for about 10 seconds. Good job, go ahead and come down. Awesome, okay. Let's see what else we have. Another pose is, oh, this is a good one. So we're gonna stand up. I'm gonna scoot back so you can see me. This is called a tree. So we start with our feet together. We're gonna bring one leg up like this. So this part of your foot right here kind of just fits on the side of your knee, and it should look like this. And then we bring our hands up. I'm sorry if my arms are cut off, but bring your hands all the way above your head and put them like this, straight. Put that leg up, See if you can balance for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome job. Okay, let's see what we have next. Oh, so we learned downward dog. Can everybody show me what downward dog looks like? It's kind of like the plank, but we pull our bottom up in the air a little more. So if we start in the plank, this was the downward dog, like this. So if this is a downward dog, what do you think an up dog will look like? Like this. And you want to think about reaching your head back. You'll feel that stretch down here in your lower back. Let's take about 5 more deep breaths while we're right here. Really stretch. Good. All right, we're going to do one more yoga pose. What shall it be? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's do this. Actually, this is a 2-in-1 yoga pose. So, the first one is called a log, and it's pretty simple. We just lay down on our back with our arms up like this. And this is simply called the log pose. Number 1. The log pose number 2 is a little bit trickier. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our feet up and our arms up and hold this pose, just like that. It makes me shake because I'm squeezing my muscles so hard. So if it does that for you, totally fine. That means it's working. We're getting stronger. It's a challenge. It's good to be challenged. So let's try and hold this for 5 seconds, okay? Count with me. On the count of 3, let's get up. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna hold it for 5 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job, guys. All right, thank you for participating in yoga and for this PE class, and I will see y'all throughout the week, and then we will be back for our week 5 lesson next week. See y'all later.